Making people do what you want is the best and most useful skill you could possibly ever have, because who doesn't like getting everything they want, right? The ability to influence others is not something that we are born with. It is a skill that we learn and develop over time, and as an ex-insurance agent, I had to learn how to make people do what I want, because that's the only way to make a sale. And believe me, selling insurance products to people is almost an impossible thing to do, unless you know how to master the influence and how to make people do everything you want to. There are many different ways to influence others, but today, I want to share with you 3 of the most effective methods that are even considered as dangerous because of how powerful they are. Let me immediately start with the first method, which is building fear. What's the first thing you do when you get scared? You immediately react to the situation, and you start looking for a solution that will pull you out of the trouble. If someone would hand you the solution, would you take it? Sure you would. Why would you waste your energy on searching for the solution if someone is already giving it to you? And that's the reason why building fear is one of the most powerful methods to make someone do what you want, because you can give them any solution you want to. I could give you a perfect example of who used this method 3 years ago and how they made people stand in line for hours to get a solution that would save their lives. But the video would be probably immediately taken down. So let me give you another example described in a short story. Alex wanted his roommate Chris to move out so he could have the apartment to himself. Alex started leaving articles about the dangers and poor air quality in the town that could cause huge health issues, which made Chris worried about his well-being. And eventually, he decided to find a new place to live. His action was driven by the fear of potential health problems. This is just one example of using fear to make someone do what you want. There are lots of fear-building strategies you can use, but let me share with you the 5 most common ones. The first one is called the fear of missing out, and you already probably know what's this one about. This can be used to influence people to buy things or do things they might not otherwise do. For example, a salesperson might tell you that a product is in high demand and that you might miss out if you don't buy it now. The point is to make a person believe that if they don't do what you want them to do, they'll miss out on something important. The second strategy is called the fear of regret, which is similar to the first one, but a little bit stronger. The third one is the fear of the unknown. You'll never know until you try it out, right? This one is pretty easy to use in almost every case. For example, a salesperson might tell a customer that they'll never know how much they could benefit from a product unless they try it. Or, you'll never know if accepting this opportunity would change your life forever unless you try it out. The fourth one is the one I mentioned earlier that was used 3 years ago, which is called the fear of death. People would do everything to survive, so I believe that this one is the most powerful one. And the last one is the fear of failure. Now let's go on to a second powerful method, which is including their wants in your offer. For this technique to be used, you'll have to know the person you are talking with well enough so you can understand what they like and what they want. For example, if you would like to eat your favorite food tonight, but you know the person you are inviting is not a big fan of it, you can add to your offer something that they would immediately say yes to. For example, you could say, "Let's go on a pizza tonight, and on the way back home, we can stop by and get your favorite ice cream." Or if you want to purchase something, but the other person does not agree with it, just allow them to pick the color of it or anything else that they want. For example, "Let's purchase this one, and you can pick any color you want." By doing that, you can make them agree by letting them choose something about it. It's like mixing their wants with yours to make them happy too. When you do this, your idea becomes more interesting and acceptable to them, and they'll do what you want them to do. Now let me introduce you to the last powerful method, which is the nodding head technique. This technique is very powerful when you are trying to convince someone to say yes, while there are big chances the person will say no. All you have to do is to put them in a situation where there is almost impossible to say no, or even better, put them in a situation where it would be embarrassing to say no. While asking the question, slightly nod your head up and down, which will subconsciously convince them to say yes by only using your body language. This technique is pretty powerful when you are using it one-on-one. For example, "So should we complete the process and sign this insurance policy that your kids would be grateful for it if something happens to you?" The answer will be yes in almost every case. Remember, these techniques can be powerful tools, but how you use them matters. always approach influencing others with respect and ethics. Don't forget that every situation is different, so you can adjust the tricks to make them work best. Keep practicing and trying new things. Thank you for listening till the end, and you are always welcome to add your opinion and thoughts about this in the comments so that we can learn more from each other. This was Mr. Salvatore speaking.